If you've got an electric car like this, the most efficient way to charge it is with a home charger like that, a 7 kilowatt Zappy from myenergi. It means you can go to bed, plug your car in and wake up the next morning fully charged, ready for your road trip. Right, let's go.
Lots of people are worried about range anxiety. But if you've driven an electric car on a long road trip, you'll know that bladder anxiety is also a big factor. On our recent trip from London to Newcastle with 4 of my friends, we decided to test this out. On reflection, we also need to add one big factor into the mix: public charger anxiety. And we'll tell you why, and why public fast charging infrastructure has to improve, and fast. Now, if you're thinking about making the switch to electric, and I hope you are, you may be put off by a few things. I can't charge at home. I won't be able to make my annual trek to Cornwall, or I can't get to work and back without charging. All of those things may be true, but there are solutions. Number one is that EV driving requires a mindset change. And change is good, right? In 20 years, our kids will be laughing at us for having to drive to a petrol station to fill up with fuel. They'll be pointing and scoffing at the fact we used to have to change gear every 5 seconds driving around town. And they'll be baffled that it was considered fine to pump poisonous invisible fumes into the atmosphere. So bear with us while we guide you through how to charge up on a big road trip, the do's and don'ts, and also where public charging has to improve if we're to hit net zero targets in the UK and around the world.
The 2023 LWO, the lads' weekend out to Newcastle upon Tyne, just begun. How has it?
Right, why we're not drinking?
Because it's 9 o'clock in the morning, man.
We're all aboard the fun bus. We've got Dave, Pete, Matt, and Lunny, and we're on our way to Newcastle. It's only about 5.5 hours drive. So
Dave's got his lunchbox. Hey.
Within 7 minutes of our 7-hour journey, we devoured Dave's packed lunch. Middle to average banter was relentless throughout.
it tells you how far you can go in any one direction.
All one direction.
Let's get a bit of that on the radio.
After several hours of driving, we needed the toilet, snacks and a battery top-up. Our backup sat-nav, aka Pete the Treat, gave us some valuable directions.
Yeah, but you go up and then turn right. Go up and turn right.
I bravely ignored him and went the wrong way,
Oh, the wrong way.
blaming the signage accordingly.
Not very well signposted, these chargers.
From a distance, it looked like the rapid CCS charger was being used.
Oh no, someone's using the CCS.
Oh, great.
This is devastating. We need CCS. That's the fast one.
Oh no, this is a bit of a problem. So the CCS is being used, the chatter mode doesn't work on this connector, and that one's being used as well. So all 4 chargers that we can use aren't really going to work. Okay, we're faced with a bit of a dilemma. Do we stay and charge on the very slow charger there, or go to the next services, which is 13 miles away? We don't have enough range to get there. Well, we've got 13 miles of range, so it would be a bit of a push.
Now, this whole dilemma could have been avoided if we'd used an app like ZapMap to check in advance to see if the chargers were available and had a plan B charge point up our sleeves. But we didn't. We decided to wait for the fast charger to become available, which gave us time to set Lunchbox Dave a challenge to open the fruit, aka the front boot of the Mach-E, within 60 seconds. He struggled somewhat, but luckily the lads were on hand for moral support. After arriving in Newcastle, we unpacked and parked up. Planning ahead with an EV is important, so I searched for a public charger for some extra juice. After a couple of fails, we finally charged up and headed to the big game, confident that my beloved Newcastle would put in a stellar performance against out-of-form Liverpool. To rub salt in the wounds, we got hammered 2-0. At least Liverpool fans Dave and Mark were gracious in victory. And at least we didn't have a 7-hour drive home to discuss the loss. On reflection, we should have stayed at a hotel with a charger. So if you're a hotel or an Airbnb owner, I'd highly recommend installing a 7 kilowatt or faster 22 kilowatt Zappy charger from myenergi to future-proof your business. They also have a range of smart products designed to give people energy independence, so go and check them out. While the public network is expanding rapidly, there are still some teething problems, and from our experience, the rock at the centre of your charging experience will be your home charger or workplace charger, enabling you to charge when you can, not when you have to. For example, overnight or while you work. After a fun night in Newcastle and a couple of hours sleep, it was time to hit the road. Matt called a very good shotgun and we got moving, ready for some insane banter from the lads.